Welcome to the Engineering Podcast, a podcast from the engineers at Rocket.Chat. We will be discussing new implementations, problems faced, what's coming, and everything else related to our daily work, always with a technical perspective to keep you up to date. Hey folks, welcome all. I'm Rodrigo Nascimento, your host as always. Not Doug as on the past episode, but thank you Doug for that time. Well, I have me as usual now, our backend leader and co-founder Diego Sampaio, our apps engine leader Douglas Gubert, our cloud leader Aaron Ugo, our front-end leader Guilherme Gazzo, our mobile leader Diego Mello, and our Omnichannel product manager Nat Becker. So getting started this week from my side, I guess just to mention about release that will come soon. Patch release, that's the 3.13.3. Maybe Diego Sampaio can explain better. That's soon there. So Diego, that already.
Okay, so hi guys. There's an issue with live chat, so Renato can talk more about that later. But that we'll be releasing a patch release today with that fix. I still need to see what else we can ship on that release. I'll take a look if we have any other important fix to ship together. But that's definitely coming today. Other than that, on the backend team, we have been doing the final preparations for the next release, which we expect to release a release candidate tomorrow. So there are still some PRs to review and merge, and maybe one or two other things to tackle. But one thing I would like to mention here is the change we need to do on the Google OAuth flow required for mobile apps. We have mentioned, I think, a few months ago that Google has changed the policy to not use web views on mobile apps anymore to do the authentication flow for OAuth. We asked for a how's that called?
Extension
on the period to have still be able to use web views, but that extension is getting close to the end right now, and we have to do something on our end so the mobile app can open a browser, and so from the browser people can authenticate, and we need a way to link back to the app when the login is finished. So we'll try to do that change for this release, but if not, next release, like next month, that fix will be shipped. And that's pretty much it for the backend team.
Cool. I have one item. As we were discussing earlier, me and Diego Sampaio, we were trying to put that second layer of cryptographic layer in the Rocket.Chat for this release. We're going to try because the release candidate is tomorrow. That's an alpha thing, like people can test and see how that goes. But it would be an interesting addition at least on the enterprise side. That would be enterprise initially. But yeah, just mention that we are still moving forward on that. It's not, stop it. Now Doug from the Apps Engine, the stage is yours. What's going on there? And thank you for the past episode to be the host.
You're welcome, but I think Diego wants to say something.
Yeah, we didn't mention the previous patch release. I thought we have mentioned like last week, but apparently it was released during last week. So yeah, it was a security hotfix. So it was released on 3.13, 3.12, and 3.11 as well. So there's a new patch release for all those minor versions, including a few security fix. So yeah, please do your best to update. Thank you, Doug.
All right. So, hello, folks. Last week we had a very introspective week at the Apps Engine team. We were talking about our plans for the future and aligning those kind of like things in the with the company's OKRs. It was much more planning and discussing and much less coding. But what we expect to see in the upcoming 3.14 release are a few things. We have like the new on-install and uninstall events, which I mentioned last week as well. A new method that will allow apps to fetch live chat departments. There will be also a new option in the scheduler that allows recurring jobs to skip immediate execution. Currently, like if you schedule a recurring job, it will execute immediately and at the intervals. And with this new option, you can skip the immediate execution and just go on with the intervals. And the long refactoring of internal bridges is something that we expect to see on this release as well. And probably next week I'll be having like more news looking into the future of the project. So stay tuned.
Pretty cool, thank you. So the next one is the Aaron Ego from the call team. What are the news there, man?
All right, so I guess this is kind of the last couple of weeks been working on this. We made kind of a big change of moving around our internal Docker registry, and this was to kind of make way for an adjustment we're trying to make on the like the public-facing Docker registry. And kind of the idea here is that we want to become less dependent on like Docker Hub. We also want to get more analytical information than Docker Hub will provide us. So we're working with a group called Scarf SH. I think they just go by Scarf, but I only remember Scarf.sh. Anyways, so basically what it allows us to do is have a single point, right? That we can link our Docker images to, and it'll like behind the scenes like redirect to the appropriate registry. So this is the change that we've kind of kicked the tires, so to speak, kind of proven that the technology works. So now you should see probably news here soon. We definitely want to make sure that everybody understands what's happening before we start making the change. But if Docker Hub ever goes away, we can easily switch to another provider, and so it kind of makes that single point. So it's kind of a I think kind of an important change. The next thing is the Omni Gateway front. So now we're kind of approaching, I guess, like bug fixing and refinement, basically maintenance mode of the Twitter integration there. So future updates you'll probably come from Renato and the Omnichannel team. But we're kind of I guess to that exciting point. And I think we also still doing some stuff on the NPS, basically wrapping everything up there. So you might see some stuff related to NPS soon. And finally, I think we're still working on the registration and trial sign-up flow. We've kind of started working with the design, kind of a new pattern. It's kind of interesting. Maybe we could talk about it sometime here, but I think it's kind of interesting, right? It's more collaborative. It's a lot more. I don't know. It's a better process, right, than we had before, where we're actually kind of making the design together which is really nice. But yeah, I think that's it for the cloud team.
Cool. No mention about the open positions today?
I was going to skip this week, but yes, we do have open positions in cloud, infrastructure, and dev.
Cool. Good. Thank you. Gazo is the next one on the front-end team. What do you have to tell us?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, last week I mentioned that we changed the how we are like handling the client, like put React before the Blaze, and that was great, but like brought some bugs or at least some issues to the light, right? Few racing conditions, not actually racing conditions, but like some uncontrolled events between both frameworks that like yeah, it was a pain in our necks, like, but now it is solved. And to fix that, to reach this, to fix this, we need to remove more than we expected, and actually it's a good thing because now we are more close to remove all. We removed the feature, or I'm not sure feature, but we're keeping like 5 or 10 rooms open in behind the scenes, not scenes, but like the browser. We let these orphans down there. Then now we are removing this and rendering just the current room that like it's a memory saver and CPU saver as well. So I hope everybody like notice not the difference. And yeah, and sorry because maybe we can face still some bugs there, but yeah, that's it for this the most exciting thing for this week.
Cool. Willing to see this full refactoring. Did you guys mention already that we are not accepting any more pull requests with JavaScript, only TypeScript? I don't know.
Oh yeah, it is more like, I think this is more like a broad decision, like backend and front end. But yeah, this is like a change that we want to enforce because it's important. Like, actually helps people to understand, or at least like prevent people to do something that is, if I'm not sure that I'm doing something and the compiler is complaining about something, it's probably I'm doing something wrong or new or unexpected. So that's why we are trying to, since we want to grow and adopt more developers, like this is a good important change that we are doing right now. I know this is like, will reduce the speed and bring more like concerns about types that we didn't, we have a lot of types that were not defined, but like it's a work in progress, and we want to save time just to provide these types and like let the developer user life easier. And yeah, that's it. I hope everybody understands the problem or the rules or restrictions, but it's for good. I hope so. It is for good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm happy with that because I know that it will allow us to reduce a lot of bugs that you know, JavaScript's kind of hard sometimes. So you pass unexpected values, you need to test everything to ensure that it not break. So we experienced a lot of this. So I think this extra work will at least reduce the refactorings or the
and the end now like takes more time because we don't have like all the types defined. But since we reached this like a good coverage, like probably we will speed even the development, not only the reducing the bugs, but yeah, still it will take some time.
Cool, thanks. The next one is Diego Melo from the mobile. Let's get in there.
Hello, everybody. Last week we released 4.16.0 with basic support to the Teams feature, but after a few days, with the help from the community, we noticed a few regressions. So we quickly released the patch, so 4.16.1. And the bug fixes were related to internationalization. So the fallback to English stopped working, and also a small issue on the SAML logging. Hope everything is working properly now. Please update to the latest version if it's not updated yet. We've been working, finishing the update to Detox, which is the lib we use to handle end-to-end testing. It's a bump for 2 majors, so we jumped from 16 to 18 version from Detox, and it was a blocker to update to the latest version of React Native, which is planned to be started soon. We started to work on the full support teams, the whole creation and updating channels. And also we'll still need to work on the jump to message feature. And that's it. Thank you.
You're right. Thank you. And the next one is Renato Becker from the Omnichannel team. What are the news there?
Hey, folks. So as previously mentioned, Rocket.Chat is developing its own WhatsApp integration, an official app. You connect Rocket.Chat workspaces and WhatsApp business APIs. So we are making progress day after day. And this new app will rely on one of the new methods that Douglas Gilbert just mentioned, the ability to know when the new app is installed. So we'll create a kind of new concept when dealing with apps. There will be a new channel, and the user who installed the app will be added to the channel as soon as the installation process is finished. So there, people, users, admins will be able to set up the WhatsApp numbers and also link those numbers to Omnichannel department. So we had to create a new user journey in order to make this process more and more user-friendly. But yeah, everything is going well so far. Our target in terms of deadline is the end of this month. So yeah, everything is going well. Other important thing to mention is that the team is working on new UI and UX enhancements. The first thing to mention is a new return button. So sometimes managers and even agents, they need to access a conversation. They are monitoring conversations in the Omnichannel contact center or the Omnichannel current chats list. They need to access a conversation and then return to the previous interface. So we are adding a specific button for this process, and special thanks to Gazo for helping the Omnichannel developers to introduce this new feature properly following the correct design pattern. Other important thing is that we are removing some useless, actually some UI elements that are not useful for Omnichannel in the chat room. There are some tab bar buttons. Also, the message options menu is, users find some actions there that are not useful for Omnichannel. So we are kind of removing some of them in order to improve the user experience. And we are also fixing a couple of issues that have arisen last week. Some of them are related to new features that came out with our latest release, something related to the new on-hold queue feature. But fortunately, we found and fixed almost all of those issues. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Well, from my side, again, and as always, we have a lot of open positions on our jobs page. So check jobs.rocket.chat or our LinkedIn page for those. And if you want to know more about, we are reaching 100 employees soon. So that's a pretty cool mark for us. And we still need to hire another 100 until the final of the year. So we have a lot of positions to open during the year, and we have some there already on our pages in LinkedIn. If you want to know more about our team, go to the rocket.chat/team. Or now we have our verified account on the org. You can search there by Rocket.Chat as well, so you can see the whole org chart as well. And you're going to put our open positions there soon. So yeah, thank you all that have participated in this episode, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have listened to Engineering Podcast. This episode is available as video on YouTube and audio on your favorite podcast application. For more information, contact communion@rocket.chat and give us your feedback.